It's been quite a while since we've done a tour of the shop, and there's been quite a few changes made. Now, if you've been watching the channel, you've been here before, but if you haven't, come on in for the first time and see what you think of this old building. Right here's the first upgrade. I just did a massive underground project around here and put in 5 of these lawn hydrants. Frost-proof. When you shut these off, the water in the standpipe drains out into the gravel down inside that culvert. So even though it doesn't freeze here much, if it freezes here at all, we're not going to break this thing. So running the water to these hydrants was one small part of a big underground project I did here, but I also brought gas out to the shop. It's not hooked up yet. We'll show you what the gas is going to do in the carpenter shop and in a little half bath that I intend to put in eventually. Come on in. So besides the storage that a shop always provides and sort of runs away with, I have 3 broad general areas of effort in here, and they are blacksmithing, which happens over here, fabrication, which happens over here and in this center area, and then back behind those plywood walls I've got the wood shop area, which is a work in progress, soon to be a lot of progress, just as soon as I get the major project that's going to happen on this rack taken care of. So this corner of the shop, and this is the southeast corner for what that's worth, does 2 things. It's where I do my grinding and sharpening, right? I mean, I've got a couple of 2x72s and a bench grinder and a polishing wheel and one of these beautiful Swedish Tormek knife sharpeners. This thing is capable of things way above my pay grade. But so that's item 1, that I sharpen and create dust. And item 2 is, this is where we film the vlogs. This is where most of the filming happens, when you see me sitting behind this table and talking about the various things that I feel like I need to talk about. But it actually is part of the blacksmith area. File cabinet, I don't know why I don't close these drawers. Doesn't matter, does it? I'm not that OCD. But this is where the forging happens. Post vices, coal forge, my favorite shop tool, this 448-pound hay button beauty. It was the subject of the second video that we made, I think. And it is the worldly possession that would pain me the worst to have to part with, right there. I've also got a Chambersburg utility hammer, all kinds of blacksmithing gear that was given to me by Bill Vian. You're going to see that story on the channel. You may have seen in an earlier shop tour that this corner was even more chaotic than it is now. Whether you can tell or not, this is actually pretty well organized. This is medium carbon and high carbon steel, springs and McPherson struts and you know, all manner of leaf springs and tire irons, which are also high carbon, and just, this is where I go when I need some sort of mystery metal that I can heat treat. And then these are just the short sections of just regular structural steel that I use in fabrication and blacksmithing. Post drill, hope to restore that one of these days. We've got a video on this beauty. This is a fly press. It belongs to Ken Jordan, my good friend. You see him in the shop a lot. I have only scratched the surface of the capabilities of this old timer. You may have seen the video of putting this bigger rotary 3-phase converter in the shop. That changes single-phase 240 into 3-phase 240 and runs a table saw that I'll show you in just a minute. But this is just kind of tool storage. Everything from, it's where my anvils seem to congregate. Got a welder, radial drill. I don't know where I would be without that radial drill, Arboga Maskiner. I'm lucky to have it. This is just a place to put things that need to be protected and might need to be used. I put this tool rack in, this rigging rack. because I'm always needing to pull something or lift something or yard something, and so I finally imposed a little order on the chaos, and I have a chance of finding it this way. You may have seen this set of shelves in the background. Could it be better? Yes, but I have at least a 50-50 chance of finding part of what I'm looking for in there. Let me just point this out. Some of you saw a roof leak dripping behind my head over there at the desk when I was filming. This old barn needs a new roof. It has half a dozen pretty serious leaks and half a dozen that move around. I mean, they will leak during one rainstorm and won't leak during another. This corner right here got wet last week. It hadn't been wet for years. And I'm sure it's going to dry out and it'll be fine for a while and then will leak again. So eventually, if I live long enough, I've got to put another roof on this thing. So we're coming into the wood shop. Work in progress. You've seen me upgrading this over the last few years. I continue to be soliciting your input on ways to make this function better, and I'm just about to start making the Ken Jordan shaker style workbench. I'm a little apprehensive, but I'm out of excuses because I have the plans now. Cody Van Vactor made those for me. You'll hear about that, or maybe you already have. But in any case, I've got the oak, I'm out of excuses. It's time to do that. Let me point out 2 mystery doors to nowhere. This one goes into what is being used for storage right now, but it'll eventually be an office, perhaps. And this one is going to be used for a little half bath. I roughed the plumbing into that years ago, and now with the underground project I've just completed, we're a lot closer to reality. So over on this end, SawStop sent me this saw. They gave it to me, and I haven't gotten near enough footage of it in action yet, but I sure love it, and I'm sure going to work it, starting probably in about a month. By the first of the year, this thing's going to be in production. And this whole end of the shop is going to be heated now that I've got natural gas out here. So this little heater that we just hung up in the air, I salvaged from a job 20 years ago, and I've been storing it. I hope that it works when I bring the gas in. The gas is the gas is 20 feet away, and I'm going to be bringing it in overhead. We'll try my hand at fitting pipeline, gas line, and making sure it doesn't leak. I hear that a match or a lighter is the best way to check for gas leaks. And so we'll get that warming up so it'll dry glue in here and use this space to, maybe build something worthwhile. I'm in the process of civilizing these shelves. I think mostly I'm just going to build a set of doors to cover them up. But it is nice to have storage, maybe some French cleat storage systems on the big white wall. And inch by inch, row by row, we're turning this into a better facility for doing some nicer work. So I'm continuing a loop. We're going to come back out towards the main door where we just entered a few minutes ago. And we're going to go into kind of a cold, dark corner with a roof leak, which is more storage and fabrication, and frankly, just sort of some weird stuff. This is a Fresno. Put these oak handles on there. This is the way excavation was done when it was horsepower that was doing it instead of hydrocarbons and hydraulics. Got the miscellaneous hand tools you just got to have if you're going to do any work. These are samples of some truss, some post to beam connections I made for a guy, fabrication table, miscellaneous. This is a project that's pending. I'm going to make a ripper tooth to go onto my excavator. This was given to me by Mike O'Shell. Going to modify that. This is a template for the attachment. We'll see how that goes. But in general, we're kind of back to where we began. And if any of this is interesting to you, we have lots of videos that have been made in here and are going to be made in here, including some of the videos that are on the Essential Craftsman Academy website. You need to check that out. There's a ton of good information there, from how to use YouTube for marketing to an essential blacksmith course, and just a wonderful range of things that are useful to a lot of people that like to do work with their hands. The one other thing about the Essential Craftsman Academy that makes it maybe most worthwhile is that twice a month we have a live Zoom meeting with dozens and dozens and dozens of smart, capable guys, each with their own area of interest and emphasis, and we all sit down in real time and question and answer and share our projects and get advice and provide solutions. And frankly, I don't know of any other resource anywhere that's as useful for people that are actually trying to build things and make things happen as that Shop Talk Zoom meeting on the Essential Craftsman Academy. If that's interesting to you, check it out. But in any case, I'm thankful for this old building. I'm thankful for the things that I get to do in here, and I want to thank you for watching Essential Craftsman, and petition you, as always, to just go ahead and keep up the good work.